Welcome everyone, I hope you're having a very wonderful day, and welcome to my guide for Hog Deer for Emerald Coast. Before we begin, I want to quickly break down how today's guide is going to work. So our first section will be covering hotspots and locations, and then we're going to move on to weapon recommendations. I'll recommend 5 of my favorite weapons to have these guys with, and then we'll end today's video with the animal profiles with a custom map, time zones, ammo chart, and more. Everything you need to make your hunting life 10 times easier. So let's get right into it by quickly going over some basic hog deer information. These guys drink between the times of 13 to 17, which does take place during the day, so you'll have some pretty easy time hunting these guys. However, when it comes to hunting them in the mangroves, you might have a few issues because the crocodiles do scare them, so you'll probably have to comb through the mangroves quite a few times to make sure that you get all your zones. And the most amount of these guys you'll see are into groups of 2, and you will have to kill females with this species in particular, just like with red fox and muntjac, mostly just because of that group of 2 system. So if you want a better male to spawn, you're gonna have to kill that female within that group as well. So that's pretty much all the basic information you need to know. Let's quickly go over some of the hotspots and locations of these guys. So I want to open up my map really quick. Now down here, we're going to quickly go over locations they do not reside, and then we'll talk a little bit about the hotspots. So down here, at the bottom left-hand corner, there is no location these guys reside at other than this lake right here, which is one of the hotspots we'll be walking up to, and this one over here as well. But they pretty much reside everywhere else across the map but the coastline, other than the mangroves down here along the coast here that connects the mainlands. So that's pretty much it for that. Now let's quickly go over a few hotspot locations. Now I found a majority of my hotspots to be like in the center of the map, mostly right where my mouse is. So we have these 2 lakes here. Then we have like 3 right here, which are pretty good. And then this lake, or this river here, is very solid for hog deer as well. And then you have a few lakes up here in the northern section that is also pretty good for some pretty good hot spots. Now we're going to walk over here into this other zone, which we should be able to see some here pretty soon. Now, I have not gotten a diamond one of these guys, so I'm pretty excited for it. And I know these guys are going to be sort of a challenge, to be quite honest with you. I haven't gotten a diamond muntjac before. I have gotten a diamond fox before, but I believe that was already spawned on the map by the game itself, so I've not actually given it a pretty solid grind. But as you guys can... No way. No way. That was not there before. I collected the zone, but that was not there. That is insane. And what's back here? And then we're still collecting zones. I told you guys this was a hotspot. This hotspot is pretty insane. We got some females off to our right here. I was kind of speechless, but we have some females off to our right over here. We have nothing off to my left. We have that level 5 in front. We also have a level 4 back there, which we did see. We have a level 3 as well. Now that is kind of insane. We have 2 level 3s, level 4, and a level 5. We have pretty much all the males here. That is for sure. Now we're not going to shoot this guy. I'm going to save him for my I guess my big hunting video that I will do, my first hunt of 2025. And we'll find out whether that guy is a diamond or not. So I'm pretty excited. I don't even know what the trophy score is for them because I don't have the thing up right now, but pretty excited to see what it is. I'll just leave it as a mystery to keep it as a surprise. But yeah, this is a pretty good hotspot. I would like to show you guys more, but I want to keep this video at a decent time length here. I will recommend, though, that this is probably my favorite spot when it comes to hunting these hog deer, as just both these lakes are pretty close together, and this lake itself has quite a few zones for hog deer. It should have at least between 2 to 3. It shows only 1, but there should be some singles there as well. But then over here at these 3 lakes are also pretty crazy. As I've already mentioned, but yeah, these 5 lakes in this little area, very, very, very solid. So I recommend checking them out. They could also be, I believe a lot of these hotspots are varied, but from what I understand is the 2 lakes down here are pretty solid for them from what I've seen from others people's maps and my own. So with that out of the way, I will see you guys back at the outpost where I'm going to give my weapon recommendations. Alrighty folks, so here we are back at the outpost. Before we begin, I want to mention quickly 3 things. First things first is, I'm only going to be covering rifles, handguns, and shotguns. I'll not be covering bows because I'm not a bow expert and I'll leave that to professionals. Secondly, these are just my personal recommendations, favorites. I always say go out there and explore and see what suits you and what you enjoy playing with. And then lastly, I'll be mentioning all the DLC these weapons come from in case you want to pick them up for yourself. So, let's get right into it with our very first rifle of the day, the For's Elite 300. Now, this is a 300 blackout rifle, the first in the game. I have talked quite a bit of smack for this because it covers classes 3 through 6. Honestly, I think it should get a little bit of a downgrade. That's just my personal opinion, to 3 to 5. But that's where I see that it fits perfectly. Now, I talked smack about not wanting to use it for certain animals, which, you know, I've tested on these guys in particular, the hog deer, and that wasn't so bad. I actually enjoyed using it. So I highly recommend picking this bad boy up, and you can find it in the Hunter's Choice Bolt Action Rifle Pack. Moving on to our second rifle of the day, if we could find this bad boy in here, right here, the Model 1894. Now, the 44 rounds covered between classes, well, let's go check it out. 3 through 8. So it does cover the hog deer, and also I just want to point out this 44 flat nose destroys everything. So if you shoot a hog deer frontally, it's probably going to go all the way to its butthole. So I highly recommend using the 44. That Model 1894 has 6 rounds in it, so you're going to be able to place quite a few follow-up shots and kill both the male and female within that group if there's 2 of them, unless it's a single. So I recommend picking this up, and you can find it in the Ambusher Pack DLC. Moving on to our third and final rifle of the day, which is one of my favorites, quite honest, for shooting these smaller deer, the Mosin. The Mosin covers, I believe, classes 3 through 7, and it is just a very solid rifle. This is what I originally used for taking out small game that were classes 3. Honestly, after the 44 came out, the lever action, I kind of switched to it, but I still bust this thing out every so often. It's a very solid bolt action if you want to use bolt action, so I highly recommend it. I will say a downside to it is that it only has soft point ammo, so just keep that in mind when you're using it, and you can find it in Weapon Pack 2. So let's head over to handguns really quick. We're only be recommending one handgun in today's video. The 243 Kumo is the second best pistol in the game, in all honesty. The reason why I say it's the second best, even though it has a single shot, is you can put a rifle scope on it, which just levels up your pistols pretty well, and you got that zoom. So, and it's obviously using a rifle round, so it's pretty solid to use. Highly recommend it when it comes to hunting these deer if you want to level up your pistols, and you can find it in the Assorted Sidearms Weapon Pack DLC. Moving on to our final shotgun, our final weapon of the day here, we have the Norden 20 gauge right here. I recommend this thing for a majority of my animals. It's either this or that Strandberg, but the Norden 20 gauge, good semi-auto shotgun. You have 3 rounds in there. Just recommend loading up some slugs or some buckshot and then just going to town with it. I wouldn't honestly recommend using shotguns on this map. However, if you want to use a shotgun, I recommend using this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's weapon recommendation. So I'm going to head over to the animal profile, and I will see you guys there in just a brief moment. And here we are, folks, at the end of today's video. Before I let you guys go, I'm going to do a quick animal profile breakdown. Starting on the left-hand side, we have all of our basic hog deer information. We have our class, difficulty, silver, gold, diamond threshold. We have our weight from least 2 greatest in kilograms in pounds. We have our fur types covering common, uncommon, and rare. And we also have a unique fur type designated for males down there as well in the uncommon section. Moving on to the center, we pretty much covered all the lakes and hotspots in the first section of today's video. So moving on top right-hand corner, we have all of our time zones nice and organized for you. And then below that, we have our ammo chart for those full integrity kills. That pretty much does it for today's video, folks. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like. It really helps out the channel. And with all the way, I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. Happy hunting, good luck, and I will see you guys in the next one.